Oh, she just doesn't get it, man. What the hell? What up, my comedians? So, if you guys are tired of someone pissing you off, they just don't get it, or they're just being plain old rude, stick with me for these next 5 minutes. I'm going to show you guys 5 wicked easy steps to know how and when to get out of a toxic relationship. So let's go. Oh, alrighty guys. So, 5 easy things on how to know when to get out of a toxic relationship. The number one thing you need to understand fully, and it has nothing to do with anybody else, is to know your worth. Unfortunately, guys, it took me about 4.5 years. If you really want to know, it actually took me 21 years. But it actually, guys, it took me 4.5 years, not just to get over somebody, but to actually find my worth. And that's something that not a lot of people will take the time to sit down and actually do. You know, a lot of people go to the gym, a lot of people listen to music, a lot of people do things that, you know, they like, you know, just hobbies and shit like that. That isn't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the stuff that is near and dear to you. Kind of like your morals. You know what you're worth, meaning you know that you're a nice person. You are outgoing, you have a great personality, you have a great sense of humor, this, that, and every other thing. When you are dealing, and you don't even have to be in an actual, this literally pertains to a friend, I guess a spouse, really just any type of relationship in general. It does not have to be serious, but if it is, then this is for you. Knowing your worth is probably the most important thing in anything that you do, because I have seen so many fucking people, whether it be a guy or a girl, I've seen so many people take so much shit when they didn't even have to do it. Let me tell you guys something right now. My ex, right? I would literally, this is how fucked up it is, I would literally trick my own mind, guys. I would trick my own mind into thinking that if a situation between her and I was going wrong, and I knew in reality that she was the one that caused it, because I loved her so much, I would actually fall and take the blame and put it onto me. Even if it had nothing to do with something that I did, and I knew that I wasn't the person that caused the problem, I would still suck it up, bite my lip, and say yes, put the blame on me. Let me tell you why that's wrong. Number 1, your morals, yep, they're completely gone. Number 2, your self-respect, that's completely gone too. And number 3, the love for yourself. There is no love. Number 1, know your fucking worth, because you don't want to live in somebody else's shoes, especially when they cause nothing but stress, negativity, and aggravation for you. Because just like me, you don't need that. So that was number 1, know your worth. Here we go with number 2. Alright guys, number 2, it's time to figure out if you and your partner are on a mutual path together. Because if you aren't, then there's absolutely no fucking way in hell you guys are gonna work out. It kind of goes back to, you know, knowing your worth and everything, because there is 2 sides to every relationship. There's always a mutual path that needs to be there. You guys, really, if you have absolutely no mutual path whatsoever, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you are probably not gonna work out. You might be saying, well, how do you know, or how can you tell if you're on the mutual path? Let's just say one of you, you know, senses and knows just how the other person is. Like, let's say one of you has a really bad anxiety problem, but the other one doesn't. That person that doesn't, it's not their responsibility in any way. I would say that in order to dodge a fight, any sort of confrontation, even though no matter what, and if you're in a relationship, you need to be able to deal with confrontation, but that is a video for a completely another time. If somebody in the relationship is dealing with anxiety and you don't deal with anxiety, then you should help your partner out by saying, hey, lay it out for them, lay out bullet points, whatever you need to do. Just lay it out for them and say, hey, this is what happens, this is what needs to go on. If you are that person that has the anxiety, it is also up to you to really set your emotions aside and be like, okay, this is what's bothering me, but the person that I love is also trying to help me out. So you, right now, for the anxiety, I'm gonna use my knee, you're right in the middle. It's like praying mantis. So, if you cannot do this in a relationship, the praying mantis, you're fucked. And if you're not fucked, then you're probably single. Which, don't get me wrong, is not a bad thing in any way. Some people that are single are happy, some people that are single aren't. That, again, that is for a completely different video. I don't know why I just did that. So that's number 2, making sure you have a mutual connection, and that way everybody's on the same page, because if you're not, then one of you is gonna go on Tinder. This is why Tinder was invented and Instagram was invented, so that way if there's no mutual reality, then you will have to go on Instagram and find your person sleeping or fucking or doing something else with somebody, and it probably is through Tinder. So shout out to Tinder with that good stuff. But from now on, guys, we're gonna move on to number 3, which is... Okay, guys, so the number 3 rule, and honestly, out of all of the rules I'm about to give you, this is probably the number 1 important thing, which is, are you happy? Believe it or not, that isn't a trick question, and what I mean by that is exactly how I said about knowing what you're worth, about people faking it. So many, probably, I feel like 85% of relationships are actually faking this, which is fake happiness. You know, going out in public with your significant other and putting on a fake smile. It doesn't even have to be going out in public. It could literally just be you sitting down on your phone or with that person, like there being no mutualness. You're not happy. People are really afraid to speak up because just like the Martin Garrix song, shout him out, they're scared to be lonely. And to be perfectly honest with you, there have been times where I have felt that, and it's something that it takes a lot of balls to admit. It's something that a lot of people just become very isolated with and shelter themselves and don't allow themselves to break through that barrier of, you know, comfortability and everything. And that goes to, if you guys follow me on Snapchat or Instagram, you can follow me on Snapchat Florida15 or Comedy K, or Instagram at Comedy K. You'll see what I'm talking about, more about inspiring others and inspiring to be better. True happiness comes from yourself. True happiness comes in the down moments when you're really, you know, by yourself. And I don't just mean not in a relationship. I mean when every single wall is being pushed closer and closer and closer to you. When everybody else wants to give up. When everybody else, you know, says you can't do it, this and that and every other thing. Literally, you are by yourself. It's when the moment to find true happiness comes. And that also comes with a lot of, you know, mind power, mental power. And trust me, guys, I know that this is something... All these steps are something that does not come overnight. Earlier in the video, it took me 4.5 years just to really get into this mindset. So if you multiply 365 times about 4.5, you know, you do 365 times 4.5, that's 1,642 days and a half. But we're not gonna really count the days, so we'll just go with 1,643 days. That's 1,643 days of your life, aka my life, that honestly I can't get back. And I don't want any of you guys to ever go through that, which is why I made this motherfucking video, because so many people have reached out to me and said, hey, this is what's going on, I don't know what to do. Well, here's the steps to follow it. And I will say, probably the biggest problem that most people face isn't the giving advice part. It's the giving advice to themselves and actually doing it, aka initiating, aka follow me on Instagram, aka that's my newest post. Rule number 3 was, are you really happy? Make sure when you wake up, the first thing you ask yourself is that, and before you go to bed, that's the last question. It should be the first thing and the last thing you ask yourself. for the day. It's winter out, W-I-N-T-E-R. Even though winter is a 6-letter word, we're moving on to number 4, which is So guys, number four would be setbacks. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what do you mean by setbacks? This is for people that are more in a serious relationship. Either that, or if you're not in a serious relationship, then this is for the people are close with the person that they have this issue with. Let me lay it out for you. Setbacks. What I mean by setbacks is kind of like pursuing your dreams and your goals. They say that the people, so you know what they say? They say, believe it or not, guys, they say the people that are closest to you are more than likely going to shut down your dream. They're gonna shut down whatever the fuck it is you wanna do. Why? Nobody knows. Just kidding, everybody knows. The reason why is because most people that are afraid, or if they're not afraid, it's because they've already failed at doing something. They then go and shut other people down because of either their negativity, their subconsciousness is doing something, whatever the hell it may be. Instead of having those setbacks, you need to know what you're worth, because when you're chasing a dream or you're just chasing a goal in general, you are literally dedicated to that thing. It's just like being in a relationship. When you ask the other person to be your boyfriend, to be your girlfriend, to be your husband, wife, whatever the hell it might be, you are dedicating the time, the space, and the effort to that one special person. Same thing that goes with the setback and the goals and the dreams. You are dedicating your time and effort to one possible thing, guys. If the person that you are dealing with this with does not support you, they're basically fighting you on everything. If they are not in support of it in any way, shape, or form, that is another reason you need to get the fuck out of this relationship. Not only is their negativity gonna come onto you, but then your subconscious is going to kick in. Your subconscious is going to tell you, hey, the person that I love, the person that I put so much time, effort, and energy into, the one person that I dedicated my time to, that I trusted, is now telling me, no, you can't do that. That is probably one of the biggest barn burners ever. To me, that is something way bigger than getting rejected. That is something way bigger than losing, a part-time job. Having someone that you care more about anything in this world telling you that no, it's either no, a stupid idea, you can't do it, it's too hard, or 9 out of 10 times, financially it doesn't seem realistic. You know what I have to say to all of those people? Fuck you. I've been chasing this shit ever since my freshman year. Yeah, have I made it big? Absolutely not. But have I continued to push and release content that is great for you guys? You're damn fucking right I have. And let me just tell you, there have been multiple people in my life, not just girlfriends. There have been multiple people in my life, friends, even some family. They have told me no and shut it down. It all comes down to your mental power to say, you know what, have that shit go in one ear and have it go out the other. It's not needed. You don't need it. I don't need it. The world doesn't need it. Yes, there will always be a war. There's only one more time. That was number 4, which is setbacks. Try not to have any setbacks. It is life. I understand that. Shit happens. What does not happen and what should not happen is your significant other telling you to basically stop, quit, or don't even try to pursue your dream. Let's move on to number 5. Alrighty guys, that's right, number 5, here it is. Easiest tool and suggestion that I can give all of you. There are plenty of fish in the sea. Many, probably every single one of us likes to get carried away, whoever it is they're dealing with. Doesn't have to be a fucking boyfriend or girlfriend. Literally be anybody. One thing that we try to do is hang on to that person. That can be good, but probably 9 out of 10 times probably terrible for you. And the reason why is because no matter how much time and energy and effort you put into something, if that person is not willing to change, eventually their toxicity will come back onto you and your bright horizons, your positive energy, your positive mindset that you developed and you've tried so fucking hard to just gain and conquer and live throughout every single fucking day. Yep, gone. It's insane how that really works. It really is unfortunate. With some of my friends, you know, I had to take the high road because a lot of them were just judging me off of things that weren't even fucking true. Those types of people are immature and insecure. Bad things will come to bad people. Good things will come to people that like to do good. It's so important to, no matter what, just try to kill people with kindness. The situation might not be great, your day might not be great, but guess what? I purely do, and really within the past half year, I have really started to be a firm believer in good karma. Not to say, hey, if you're always positive, then positive things are always gonna come to you. That is not what I'm saying. If you are constantly positive, the number one reason why you should be positive, other than the fact that it's great to be positive, is that if you are someone that deals with anxiety or depression like I used to, I mean, I still deal with anxiety nowadays. Every time you have an anxiety attack, it's fear, which is false evidence appearing real. So many people, including myself, I am a fucking perfect example of it. I got caught up in all the small shit that most normal people wouldn't even think about. It's literally the dumbest shit you could think of. That is what I used to have anxiety attacks over. The times that I didn't have an anxiety attack over the bigger things, it's just very weird how that works. But then when you go and you talk to somebody that doesn't have an anxiety attack and they take the time, like I said earlier, they take the time to lay it out to you, it helps you calm down. As much time as they're trying to figure out your situation and analyze you, that is the exact same type of thing you need to do in return for them, so that way you don't end up in a fight, an argument, a divorce, a separation, whatever it may be. If these 4 prior steps, if these have, if you've answered yes to any of those, then this number 5 is for you. There's plenty of more fish in the sea. Everybody's fucking and sucking nowadays, apparently. So, hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a huge thumbs up. Make sure you smack this subscribe button right here. I love you all, and I will see you next time on Times with Comedy K. Stay comedic.